Uh, Hi, good evening, everyone. Is my screen visible?
Yeah.
All right. Hi, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining. So, we'll quickly run through the requirements of the photo submission and the accumulator pre-tech document and their respective virtual calls, starting with the requirements for the document. So, uh, I've mentioned few of the points that are required. All the required photos which have been asked in the template should be added as per the description. While attaching all the photos, kindly ensure that you all are meeting the objective of the description. The angles are proper, the lightings are proper, and the required point or the thing which is required to be evaluated in that document is met. Kindly refer to the latest available templates. So for photo submission, there's only one template since the start, but for accumulator pre-tech, we had revised it recently. So kindly check for the latest template. It's version 3. Incomplete submission will be considered as non-submission. Hence, it is important and required for you all to attach all the required images. In case any of the image asked in the template is not relevant to your car, relevant to your team, then you can just leave it blank. Majorly, those are related to the rear wings or front wings, rear wings, front wings, basically the aerodynamic package. Penalties will be applicable for the delayed submission as per the rule book, the rule number mentioned, 5.3. All the images should be clear and real. Basically, the CAD models will not be accepted. The virtual calls or the photo submission calls are to evaluate the progress of your team and to evaluate if there are any errors in your designs as a whole. And hence, it is important for the team to add the real images of their components and not the CAD models. Acceptance of any of the document does not guarantee your TI being cleared. This is really important. Be it any of the documents, SCS, FMEA, any of the documents, or acceptance of photo submission or anything, it won't indicate that the team can clear the TI easily or anything. It will just help the team to understand what all mistakes you all are doing in your uh, current design with regards to the rules, and will give you all around few weeks or months before the competition to evaluate them and rectify them before coming to the competition. Comments will be resolved only by the reviewers. For this comments point, I'll just elaborate it further in the second last slide. Regarding the calls, teams should be able to show the live video of their car or accumulator. As I mentioned at the start, that this is to evaluate the progress of a team, progress of the overall vehicle, and not the CAD models. Hence, the teams should be able to show the live video of their car or accumulator if asked by the respective reviewer. During the virtual calls, if there are any concerns with regards to the images submitted by the teams or anything, the reviewer will try to address those concerns. Along with that, rule compliance will be checked, and hence it is important to show the live video. No show during the virtual calls will lead to penalties being applied. Hence, ensure that the slot you select, you are available during those slots. And this is with regards to the accumulator pre-check virtuals. No live checks will be done. Yeah. Moving on to the submission guidelines. So on both the templates, the photo submission template and the accumulator pre-tech template, follow a set of instructions or guidelines are mentioned for the submission, and it also links you to a document named as PS post submission guidelines. Kindly refer to those documents mentioned on your template for the submission of the photo submission document. Failure to do so will lead to the document being considered as non-submission, and hence penalties will be applicable accordingly. Do not upload the document via the submission portal. So as the teams generally do, for all the other submissions, you have to upload your document via the submission portal. But for this particular template, you don't have to do so. The procedure is mentioned on the template itself. You have to transfer the ownership to formulabharat@gmail.com. Do not wait until 11:59 p.m. IC for transferring the ownership. Make sure it is done before the deadline itself. Do not wait until the last minute. Besides that, if you have any queries, you can reach out to us via the respective Google chat group. We'll get a response there. Or if not, you can also send them as rules@gmail.com. So these were the brief points that were required with regards to your photo submission and accumulator pre-tag templates submission and also the virtual calls. So thank you for patient listening. Do let me know if there are any questions regarding the submissions or the virtual calls or anything.
So this is Velocita Racing. Since we'll be
Yeah.
using second year chassis, is it okay to leave the first year rule blank, or do we upload the picture of just this year's stuff?
Please come again.
So since the checklist includes a first year rule photograph also, and we are
Yeah.
using a second year chassis this time, so just the one photo is enough, or do we need to include
Uh, are
the
you part
previous
of the
chassis?
combustion category?
Yes, combustion.
Okay. Regarding this, I'll confirm and let you know. You all are using second year vehicle, right? Currently.
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay.
Um,
I'll get back.
um, I am not sure who this is, but can you please wait to speak to us at the end of the call, please?
Yes, fine.
Thank you. We've
Uh,
been getting some other queries. I'm sorry, before y'all go with your questions. In the past few days, there have been queries that in the case that we do not submit certain pictures in the photo submission, is that okay? And can we add them in later? Questions about certain parts not being there and hence or the certain things not being put together at the moment, and if that will be okay to be revised later since there's like a last date to approve the document, then in that case, if you submit a photo submission without a certain picture or missing pictures, it will be considered as incomplete submission, which means it's a non-submission, and you will get penalized 10 points of penalty per day, and after 7 days you get deregistered. So if any of y'all have those questions, like whether it's okay, then it's not. The deadline stands as is. Unless you feel that there's something that is really major and you need us to know, then you can, of course, ask us that. But something as simple as, can we like submit a certain image later, then we are going to say no. Yes, I think someone from E06 had a question.
yes. Hi, this is Shravan from Team Moses Racing. So I had a question regarding the photo submission. So let's say that, we are using some component right now. And while testing, we figure out that, there's something like, we are not getting the performance we expect from it. So are we allowed to change that component, even though we have shown that, shown the other component in the photo submission?
Yes, you can change the component. If the component is part of your SCS or any of the other documents, it first needs to be evaluated and accepted by a reviewer on the Google Chat group, and you will have to maintain a change log if it is SCS or FAME or whatever document it is. Besides that, if that document is not part of any, if that component is not part of any of the documents, you can do so as long as it is legal. Like you can change the design after testing, considering that there is
Okay.
performance enhancement.
Okay. Thank you.
Hello. This is from 4654 Racing C03.
Yeah.
So during the photo submission calls, does the car need to be in ready to race condition as per like all the rule complaint has to be there on the car, or only whatever is there in the photo submission template has to be completed during the photo submission calls?
The car needs to be fully assembled because the reviewer might, as the video would be live, the reviewer would like to check other points too if there is ambiguity in its rule compliance.
Okay, like last year we had the EDP calls, right? Does the car need to be in the same exact condition as rule compliance? Like last time we had lost points for a few things such as beading around the
See,
corners and such things. The smaller things has to be made sure that it is ready by photo submission calls.
what things are you talking about? For VED and cost and manufacturing, you require the whole assembly, complete car. And similar for photo submission. As I mentioned, although I mean, not everything is asked in the photo submission template, but as mentioned, the reviewer would also check the rule compliance of the vehicle as a whole. So in case he or she has any of the queries, they would ask you to highlight that particular area or that particular component. Hence it needs to be completely assembled.
Okay, thank you.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, this is Advait from Team Petronarch. So I had a query regarding the fuel tank. So we are currently doing a testing a powertrain system, and we have designed a fuel tank previous year. So we would be using that for now, and we have designed a new one to be put in the vehicle in the competition. So that might not be ready by the time of photo submission. So is it okay if we use the old one in
Are
the
the
photo submission?
specifications same? Are the specifications same?
Yeah, the dimensions are a bit different, but the mounting will almost be at the same location.
Okay. And is that part of any of the documents? As I mentioned earlier for one of the questions. If that is
Yes,
part of any of the document. If it is part of any of the document, then it first needs to be evaluated by the reviewer. And a change log needs
Okay.
to be shown because it would be asked during the mechanical inspection or any of the inspections where the document is ready.
Okay, thank you.
I had one question for everyone. Does everyone know how to submit the how to go about with submissions for photo submissions? Because everyone's requesting editing access to the document. Is everyone aware? Like, if you all are aware, just use the thumbs up emoji. If someone's not aware, just like tell me, I can explain. Okay, I see 2 thumbs up. Should I take 2 for everyone? Everyone's aware, right? How to use it. Please do not request editing access to the actual template that's on the website. You do have to make a copy of it, and then you need to follow the instructions. So the entire set of instructions are on the first page itself. Guidelines are also attached to the first page. So please go through all of that and don't wait for the last minute to submit, because you do not have to follow the normal mode of submitting the document. You do have to firstly make a copy, and over there you got to rename your file, and then of course you insert all your documents. And now this document has to be only in a Google document format, so no doc, or it's not going to be allowed. And in the case that you all do submit it in that format, for that day you will get a 1-day delayed penalty until you rectify it. So if you see the template, there are 2 lines in red on the first page which says submit as Google document only. That the emphasis over there is because you'll need to follow it that way, and if it's not done, it will not be considered as a submission. So all of these things, please see to it that you've done that before and don't wait for 11:59, because we see this every year that teams literally wait for the last minute to submit, and it's not as simple as the portal. We are still open to any other questions. If none of you all, like if anyone has concerns with the photo submissions or the calls, please wait back or ask your questions. If none, then I think, Sanskar, there's nothing else that we need to touch base on, right?
Yes, right.
Okay.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yeah,
Ma'am,
good
actually, I just wanted to ask this. In the deadline section, it is mentioned that last date for approval is January 6th. So can you
Yeah.
please elaborate that?
Yes. So approval for photo submissions is basically, I'll tell you the process. So after you all do submit the document, the reviewers will go through your document, and then they will host a call with you all, right, during the calls that are scheduled. During these calls, the reviewers are going to tell you all which points are yet to be addressed, and they will leave comments in your document. They might even do this prior to the call. So what's expected from you thereafter is that everything that they leave as a comment, say they say certain part it needs to be changed or needs to be mounted in a different way, or there needs to be a new picture that's more clear, anything of that kind that they put in as a comment, you need to rectify it. And you need to mention it to your reviewer via chat saying that, okay, this has been rectified. Please don't send one message for everything. Rectify all and send the message. And then the reviewer will check it. And only if he or she is satisfied, they're going to go and resolve the comments. So you have until Jan 6th for the reviewer to, like, for you to rectify things and for the reviewer to like have a look at it and give his or her final verdict on your submission. So there's just going to be one submission, although the comments are something that will be reviewed even later. And all you need to do is keep rectifying in the same document. That's why you need to like submit a Google Doc and not a PDF or something.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hello.
Yes.
Regarding the second year vehicle, we are using a second year vehicle currently. So in the template there are it says a first year vehicle chassis pictures. So do we leave it blank or do we submit the current photos of our car?
Regarding that, second year vehicle rule is only for the electric vehicles.
Yes.
So I'm not sorry to understand. So should we submit pictures under that or should we leave it blank?
Basically,
if you could-
vehicle will not be. I would like you to wait back in the meeting until everyone leaves.
All right, all right.
I'd like to discuss it with you. Thank you.
Hello,
Yes.
am I audible?
Yeah.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I'm from Team Petronac. We have a query that is we have used a radiator for our testing presently, and in the long run, if it is getting damaged or if we feel like we need to change it to optimize our performance, so is that possible that we use a different radiator which is not matching with our previous one?
Everything needs to be approved via documents wherever the radiator is mentioned. So I think this is something Sanskar did mention at the beginning, that anything that needs to be changed, if it's of the same specification and if it's mentioned somewhere else already in some other document, then it's fine. It's not something you need to worry. But if the specifications are different, if you're doing something different and it's not in any of the documents, you need to get it approved. Because if you come down with something different on site, clearly people are going to ask you who passed this. So if it's not going to match the previous specifications of your radiator, then it won't be allowed.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Any other questions?
Yeah, one more question. So from Team Petronac, so we are currently fabricating our bodyworks and it might not be ready by the time of the photo submission. So is it okay without the bodyworks? We can submit the photos?
No.
No. Okay.
So basically, if you do not submit a certain thing that's required in the document, then in that case, you keep collecting penalties, and then basically, you know what happens after 7 days. It's a big thing. I know that everyone wants to meet the deadlines, and sometimes it's not possible because certain parts are not available. But these deadlines were mentioned way prior, and it hasn't been changed. So you'll need to plan accordingly. With the submission deadlines being in the next few days, I think your room for making any kind of we cannot allow for any kind of extensions up front, but you need to follow the deadlines. That's all. With VED and cost and manufacturing also around the corner, especially VED, you need to have your car in a ready to race condition, which means like a complete car. And in the last season, when teams did not meet that, you basically get a 0 in the design event. So keeping that in mind, I think meeting this deadline also is important. So anything like this is not ready, that is not ready, can we get any extension, then it will just not be fair for the other teams that are getting their car ready by the deadline. Okay. Once again, thanks everyone for joining. If anyone has questions, please wait back, and even Velocita Racing. If any questions, please ask, but the others are free to leave. Thank you.